Knitwear is an essential part of a classic wardrobe. But with so many options out there, which ones should form the essential collection that you need to own? No matter where you land on the spectrum of personal style, we've got 4 top sweater picks today that are sure to become favorites in your collection. And to prove this point, we'll also offer styling advice for each of these sweater options to make sure that you're always looking natty in your knitwear. Without any further ado then, we'll jump right into today's list with pick number 1, the formal V-neck sweater. If for whatever reason there's only space for one sweater in your wardrobe, we'd suggest that this be it. Why is this? Well, most principally, we think that a V-neck sweater is the perfect, more casual alternative to wearing a jacket in business casual settings. And even if you don't wear a sport coat or blazer consistently, having a sweater like this will still allow you to layer your outfits and give you greater versatility in dressing. And if you do choose to wear a jacket, this style can also be an additional layering piece worn under the jacket as an alternative to a waistcoat. Hey, if it's cool enough for Dirty Harry, it should be cool enough for you.
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
In terms of versatility, colors like navy and charcoal gray are probably going to be your best bets here, for similar reasons as to why we recommend navy and charcoal suits to men just starting to build up their collections there. However, you could also use this as an opportunity to introduce colors that might be harder to put into your outfits otherwise. Colors like burgundy, forest green, or taupe. Generally speaking though, dark, muted colors are going to give you the most mileage, and lighter colors will be a bit more situational. And while the V-neck's cousin, the similarly popular crew neck, could also fill this role within your wardrobe, the crew neck styling options are actually much more limited. The main reason for this is that a crew neck sweater doesn't work as well with a necktie. The high neck opening of the sweater is going to cover up most of the tie or even the knot and not allow it to drape properly. Plus, unless you're wearing the right kind of shirt, even the shirt's collar can end up looking bunched up and squished under the sweater's neck opening as well. So, most of the time, we'd recommend wearing a V-neck sweater whenever you're wearing a collared shirt, whether or not you're wearing a tie. Meanwhile, the choice of fiber for the sweater you're wearing will vary based upon the climate you're living in. The versatility of a V-neck sweater means that it should give you a lot of opportunities to wear it, and you're not going to want to freeze or overheat while doing so. And as a general note here, you'll want this sweater to be of a finer weave so that formality-wise it will blend well with more formal clothing and dress up more casual clothing. On the other hand though, you don't want the weave to be so fine that it almost becomes see-through. To both of these points then, merino wool is probably going to be your best bet for the majority of climates. Its thin, smooth texture allows it to be dressed up and layered with jackets or other pieces, and it won't leave you overheating or feeling stuffy. If you live in an especially warm climate though, you will want to be even more mindful of just how much sweat is interacting with your sweater. Popular options in these cases would include linen, flax, or a looser organic cotton weave. Meanwhile, if you're in a particularly cold environment, then a heavyweight wool, alpaca, or cashmere sweater will serve you well. In these cases, the extra material and the tighter weave will help to insulate you better. Whatever climate you live in, though, we would suggest avoiding sweaters made entirely or principally from nylon, acrylic, or polyester. In addition to not regulating your temperature as well, these materials are probably going to break down more quickly, and they have a tendency to look cheap as well. Next, as we get into outfit ideas for this sweater type and the others on our list today, remember that they are just general suggestions and that you don't have to follow them to a T. So, for our first outfit here, consider something like a tweed sport coat, V-neck sweater in a neutral color like navy or charcoal, neutral shirt like white or light blue, corduroy trousers, and wingtip shoes. This is a combination that's great for business casual, as the V-neck is going to sharpen your look, but it won't be quite as formal as wearing a waistcoat. In other words, it's a great combination for wearing tailored clothes in a more informal manner. Our second outfit suggestion here, of course, keeps the V-neck sweater, but pairs it with a field jacket in a color like olive green, and also a checked shirt, chinos in a color like tan, and chukka boots. This combo is a step down in formality from outfit 1, leaning into the casual side of things by utilizing utilitarian outerwear. And of course, the patterned shirt and chinos help to make things more casual as well. With that said, this look should still be appropriate in most business casual settings, or at least smart casual, as all of the pieces are going to look polished without looking too informal. And for our third outfit here, consider pairing your V-neck sweater with a white t-shirt, denim jeans, and dress sneakers. This, of course, is one of the most casual ways to wear a V-neck, and it's a prep staple for incorporating knitwear into a casual outfit. The sweater will provide you with more warmth than if you were just wearing the t-shirt alone, and of course, it helps to elevate the formality of the other more casual pieces, at least somewhat. And if the dress sneakers don't happen to be your style, you could substitute them for suede shoes, boat shoes, or loafers. Meanwhile, if you're not one to wear a plain white t-shirt in your looks, you could step up the formality slightly with something like an Oxford cloth button-down shirt. But if you would like more styling advice for white t-shirts, then Kyle has you covered in this video. Next on our list today, our number 2 pick is one that I'm wearing in today's video, the shawl-collared cardigan sweater. Shawl collar cardigans have a similar level of versatility to V-necks, but they have a unique character that no other sweater style can replicate. The signature high shawl collar of this sweater style somewhat mimics a jacket's lapel roll, meaning that it pairs especially well with neckwear when framing your face. And of course, whether you're wearing a tie or not, there is also the added benefit of being able to flip the collar up to protect your neck from the cold if necessary. And as another staple of the prep look, you can sometimes see this sweater style emblazoned with collegiate motifs. The biggest potential drawback with this sweater style is that its signature collar can add quite a bit of extra bulk, meaning that it won't always pair well with every type of jacket. Even though layering this sweater style can be a bit more challenging though, it certainly can be done, and one of our scriptwriters, Tyler, happens to love the look. On that note, you could also think of this look as the more dapper alternative to wearing a hooded sweatshirt under a jacket. And if you do want to lean into somewhat more adventurous layering options, but want to avoid the formality of a three-piece suit, know that shawl collar cardigans can also excel during the transitional seasons of the year for this purpose. You could sub out your jacket for a shawl-collared cardigan sweater, wearing odd trousers and waistcoat with the sweater, or going for a spezzato-adjacent technique by wearing the waistcoat and trousers of a suit and subbing out the jacket for the sweater. Sweaters like these can also be great traveling companions, as they will probably avoid the creasing that's likely to occur if jackets are packed into a suitcase. While there are some shawl-collared cardigans that exist in buttonless or even double-breasted varieties, know that these styles are going to be less versatile than the traditional single-breasted buttoned variety. The most classic option, then, would be to choose a single-breasted sweater in a plain, neutral color with 4 to 6 buttons. Collar sizes can also vary by brand and style, but the most traditional options are going to have a fairly bulky collar to them. Meanwhile, a thinner shawl collar will be a more contemporary choice. When it comes to materials, this sweater style is generally going to be available in a chunkier knit, with heavy lamb's wool being a popular option. You should also be able to find it fairly easily in linen, cotton, cashmere, and other natural fibers as well. And they don't necessarily have to be in a chunky style if that isn't the look you prefer. Much like the V-neck sweater, this style looks great with everything from a collared shirt and tie all the way down to a t-shirt and jeans. We often like to wear it with Fort Belvedere corduroys, though. When it comes to outfit ideas, consider pairing a neutral-colored shawl collar cardigan in a color like burgundy with a tweed jacket, flannel shirt, corduroys in a color like tan, and wingtip shoes. The cardigan here helps to reinforce the rustic nature of the tweed jacket and corduroys, and it can either replace a waistcoat or be worn over one. Plus, the collar will help to frame your neckwear, whether that's a necktie or something like an ascot. And at the same time, it should still be casual enough to mesh well with a flannel shirt. For another outfit, consider pairing the cardigan with a tweed waistcoat, flannel trousers, and loafers. This is another more relaxed interpretation of a three-piece ensemble, with the sweater here taking the place of the jacket instead of the waistcoat. This type of an outfit should work well in a variety of climates and while traveling, as you could take the sweater off if you're too warm and still be wearing your waistcoat to look put together. And for some even more direct outfit inspiration, consider wearing a shawl-collared cardigan in a color like rust orange, as Kyle does here. He's here paired it with a dark blue denim shirt, stone-colored denim jeans, and chukka boots. This, of course, would be one of the most casual ways to wear a sweater like this, and it reinforces the point that you don't have to wear neckwear with it, as it's going to elevate something more casual like the denim shirt. Again, if you wanted to dress things down even more, you could also opt for a t-shirt and dress sneakers here. Third on our list today is the classic turtleneck sweater. There are very few items in classic menswear that come across as both debonair and casual cool quite as well as a turtleneck sweater does when paired properly. There's a reason it was one of Steve McQueen's signature looks, after all. Rather than taking the place of a jacket or waistcoat, this sweater style is utilized most effectively when it's taking the place of your dress shirt. And by that same token, a turtleneck can still work well in colors that might not suit a shirt as well in classic menswear, like black, taupe, orange, or yellow. And one of the most fun elements of turtlenecks is that they can give off a more vintage aesthetic in certain situations. If you opt to wear one with flannel trousers, jeans, or a bomber jacket, you could live out your fantasies of being a Cold War spy or mod movie star. At least when it comes to your outfit, that is. Style icons to take inspiration from here would include Sammy Davis Jr. and the previously mentioned King of Cool, Steve McQueen. The elongated neck of the turtleneck sweater will of course help to keep you warm on colder days, and will also draw more attention to your face. For both of these reasons, we would recommend in most cases going with a true turtleneck style and not a mock neck sweater. A genuine rolled neckline is going to frame your face better and will also look more at home with tailored clothing. Still, you don't have to write off mock necks entirely. If you find one that you think works well for you, go for it. We'd also recommend picking a thinner, finer fabric for your first turtleneck so that you can more easily layer it under a jacket without overheating. Again, though, do make sure that it isn't so fine as to be semi-transparent. Meanwhile, thicker turtlenecks can work well when worn alone or directly under something like an overcoat. Casual sport coats are perfect to pair with this style of sweater, though, as the casual nature of both the sweater and the jacket are going to be mutually reinforcing. And while it will depend somewhat on the fabric choices here, they can also go well with casual suits. A light gray flannel suit, for instance, can look especially debonair when paired with a black turtleneck sweater, which is why it's our first outfit suggestion here, when paired also with black Chelsea boots. This is one of the most foolproof ways to make the color black work well in classic day wear. The sweater adds a nonchalance to the suit, and also, because of its more casual fabric, generally works better than a black dress shirt would. And of course, having both the sweater and the suit on the grayscale prevents any severe contrast and helps things to look harmonious. For outfit number 2 here, try pairing a camel hair sport coat with a turtleneck in taupe or ivory, along with loafers and casual trousers like chinos or corduroys. An ivory turtleneck can be a great alternative to a white dress shirt. The woolen texture of the turtleneck will create some more visual interest and a more dynamic outfit as a result. And while an ivory color will pop a bit while still pairing easily with earth tones, you could reinforce the earth tones by going with a taupe sweater instead. Outfit number 3 pairs a dark turtleneck in a color like navy with jeans and a suede or leather jacket. Inspired by Steve McQueen, this outfit serves the practical purpose of trapping in heat without resorting to large or bulky overcoats, which might not always work well with more casual clothing. And if you do opt for jeans, this will break up a monochromatic outfit, giving it a bit more variety. Finally today, our number 4 pick on this list is a bit more general than the previous 3, but you should still see what we mean. A casual sweater. While versatility can go a long way, some sweater styles are best suited to certain situations. And as sweaters are all about practical comfort, they don't always need to be dressy. So if you're going on a cold weekend walk, spending some time at home with friends or family, or you just want to relax for a while still being comfortable, you could opt for a more casual sweater style, like the aforementioned crew neck, a sweater vest, or, for a more modern look, a quarter-zip sweater. With this said though, we would caution in most cases against full-zip sweater styles, as they don't tend to be flattering on most men, aside from Mr. Rogers. For your casual sweater choice, you can also select something with a bolder detail, like the striping found on tennis and cricket sweaters, a bolder knit, like a cable knit or fisherman pattern, more unusual colors, like purple, orange, or yellow, or even something especially bold, like a patterned Fair Isle sweater. In fact, we might even have another video in mind for more advanced sweater styles like these, so if you'd like to see a video on advanced sweater options, let us know in the comments below. The biggest thing to consider with this sweater is your lifestyle and personal preferences. This is a sweater that should be a reflection of you, allowing you to embrace some of the style quirks that you might not wear as frequently otherwise. So, while your sweater may or may not be as bold as Sinatra's orange fuzzy mohair one, it's definitely okay to take some more style risks here. And since it is more laid back, great fabric options to consider here would be cotton, a coarser linen, or lamb's wool. And pairing this sweater with denim, chinos, or corduroys will help to give you that relaxed yet refined appearance. That gets us nicely into outfit ideas here, where we'll start by pairing a Fair Isle sweater with an Oxford cloth button-down shirt, jeans, and casual boots. The bold pattern is obviously going to create a focal point here, so don't be afraid to let the sweater take center stage. This is certainly a fun approach to a classic outfit, and should give you the chance to show off a bit of personality. Outfit number 2 pairs a tennis sweater in a traditional color like white with a polo coat, light blue or similarly neutral Oxford cloth button-down shirt, knit tie, corduroys in a color like navy, and wingtip shoes. Polo coats and tennis sweaters are 2 articles of clothing that each have collegiate, sporty backgrounds. Pairing them together, then, creates a preppy look that is naturally harmonious while also taking full advantage of the unique properties a tennis sweater provides. For our final outfit here, consider something like an olive field jacket paired with a cable knit sweater, tan chino trousers, and chukka boots. The thick cable knit of something like a fisherman's sweater won't look out of place in this outfit that creates a look that is casual and laid back while still being properly classic. So, while the world of sweaters can be full of nuance, the 4 options that we've provided today should work for most men time and again. Do you feel like we left any sweater styles off of this list, though? If so, let us know in the comments below which sweater style you think is also a must-have. If you already have the sweater styles on today's list in your wardrobe, then you should be well covered for almost any layering situation or occasion. And if you don't have all of these styles on hand yet, there's still time, so don't sweat it. In today's video, I'm wearing a smart casual or perhaps business casual outfit that could work in a variety of settings. As mentioned, the central element of the outfit is my shawl-collared cardigan sweater in black. This sweater features a varied weave, with its top half featuring a couple of different weave styles, including a cable knit. It also has 2 pockets and 5 buttons, and is actually slightly oversized on me. This is because I typically wear it as a layering piece around the house when I want to warm up a bit. Still, it can be dressed up slightly, as I've done today, wearing it over a French cuff shirt from Tyrwhitt featuring a pattern of fine gray and white stripes. I've got the cuffs of the shirt configured in a barrel style with simple black links to fit better under the sleeves of the sweater. To harmonize with the shirt, my trousers are also gray in color, though they do feature a very slight pattern and texture in their weave. My shoes are a well-worn and well-loved pair of black loafers from Allen Edmonds that you might not see in too many more videos. As you can tell, they're on their way to retirement, and they might be replaced by a new pair of black loafers soon, so keep an eye out. Finally today, the socks I'm wearing are from Fort Belvedere. There are 2-toned solids in black and white, and the fragrance I'm wearing from the Roberto Ugolini collection is Darby. This scent has a spicy character that is bold without being too aggressive, and I chose it today not only because I like the scent, but also because the black bottle harmonizes with my outfit. So, for the socks I'm wearing in today's video, along with a wide array of other classic men's accessories, corduroy trousers, and fragrances from the Roberto Ugolini collection, you can take a look at the Fort Belvedere shop here.